All right. Now, there's quite a number of organizations in our communities today that are making a difference, especially youth led organizations. And these organizations are based in different parts of the country and different communities from where we come from as well. You probably might not know, but there's an organization probably in your community that is making a difference and helping the youths in their different issues like providing skills and also training young people in different fields to be able to sustain themselves in their livelihoods. Now, today I'll be talking to two gentlemen from sportsAid. You might have come across this organization. Now, basically, you'll be finding out more about what sportsAid is and also what they do. The name speaks for itself. Obviously, they help out youths in our communities today in terms of sports and maybe also just acquiring that skill. And I do have this morning Mr. Castrol Chongo, who is the founder of this particular organization. And also, I do have Abdullah Kosa, who is the Secretary General of sportsAid. Good morning, guys. Welcome to our breakfast show today.
Good morning, Rodah. Good morning,
viewers.
All right. Now, interestingly, you, Castrol, you do have quite an interesting background. Your late father was a defender in the national team, the late Harrison Wawa Chongo, may his soul rest in peace. Just tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you came to also love sports.
Okay, my name is Castrol Chongo Rodah. I'm the son to the late national team player Harrison Wawa Chongo. Okay, it feels good to be a son of the legend because he represented Zambia at the highest level. He played in the Middle East for more than 10 years or so. He played in Saudi Arabia and also Muflia Wanderers and the national team. So it gives pride because he's one person that was passionate about sport and he inspired me a lot to love sports.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you learn from him in terms of, just being faithful to what you love?
I learned a lot because mostly there was a time after retirement he became the coach for my team Muflia Wanderers.
Yeah.
So he would get me to the pitch when training and also during the games. And one moment that I remember was the time he was appointed as head coach for the first time. Instead of appointing his colleagues as a technical director, he told the officials to say, my technical director would be my son. And by then I was only 16 years old.
Wow.
And imagine in a packed stadium, I would sit in the VIP and advising him on who to substitute and or to make the structure of the team. So it was quite an interesting part.
How was the experience for you being very young?
It was great. It was awesome. At that time, I didn't realize that it would help me in future. And in fact, it was a preparation to what I'm doing now. Yeah, so it was a great experience because I got exposed and then I got that experience of sports administration. So it even led me to do coaching. I eventually did coaching. I'm a holder of a first D license.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. Now, also, Abdullah, just tell us more about yourself. Do you also come from a similar background?
Actually, he used to be my neighbor.
Okay.
Back in Copperbelt. I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's degree of laws at the University of Lusaka.
Okay.
I'm also a businessman.
Yeah.
And a small scale gardener.
Okay, so were you playing sports, way back?
Day.
Were you playing football as well?
Yes, we used to play.
Okay. All right. Now, tell us about sportsAid and, of course, what do you do and what prompted you to set up the organization?
Okay, well, what was sportsAid? I'm the founder and the president. So Wawa sportsAid is a charitable organization in Zambia formed to assist retired athletes in Zambia.
Okay.
Yes, regardless of age, disability, the background, and the like. So it is well registered with the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services together with the Ministry of Sports under the non-governmental organization Act 2009. Yeah. So what prompted me to set up this organization is because of the background. You know, I'm coming from a sports background. I know the challenges that athletes face both as players, coaches, and as well as after retirement. So they go through a lot of things which some of the athletes now don't know. So this organization is all about not just helping the retired athletes, but also active athletes.
Okay.
So we cater all sports. It's not only football, although it might look as if it's football because
Okay.
of my background.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So there is
Alright.
volleyball, basketball, whichever sport that is in our country. Yes. So mostly these young athletes, you know, they lack mentorship because if an athlete could have the talent, but if they are not being mentored well, they might end up losing it at any time, any point. So as an organization, we have a mentorship program so we can be going into the field and educate these athletes about sometimes financial management, sometimes about the lifestyle that they lead. Some of them are involved in drug abuse, and then a lot lose there is low resilience and confidence. So mostly we are there to educate the athletes that they're active as at now. Yes. So mostly, and another thing that prompted me is because, you know, a career is different from talent. Somebody with, for example, an education career can work up to 55 years, but an athlete could only work up to 30 years or 35 and they retire because of age. That you understand. So mostly, and talent has got no qualifications. So once somebody is out of employment, it becomes a challenge, especially that if they had mismanaged their finances. So mostly we find that their children suffer a lot, and maybe some have left widows behind suffering. So we haven't had organizations or federations in Zambia or clubs that takes care of these families of our heroes. Yes, we have seen a lot suffering, a lot looking for what to do, and mostly even the same retired athletes, they lack sponsorship because the clubs that they featured for do not look after them. Some need to do coaching. Somebody can take up something else because there is always life after sport.
Exactly.
So this is what we've been lacking in our country. You know, recognition, we don't look at that. Yes, so it's a very important thing that we should implement as an organization. So we have got strategic plans. So we're planning to partner with any of the insurance companies where we can open up maybe an athlete's children's education account, whereby even the same athletes that are active can be deducted just a certain amount of percentage to secure or safeguard the education of their children in future. Because sports, you might not know, you might get broken today and that's the end. So you do not look at the future. So we need to safeguard and secure the education of the athletes' children as of now. And then we're also planning to open a museum where we can be. This museum would promote the tourism in Zambia. It's more like when we open that, we need to educate the new generation about our forefathers, what they did, because between independence, before and after, up to date, we have a pool of athletes, and yet we do not know what they did way back. So we need to learn from them. And then we, for example, will give an example of the greatest player in Zambia, Kalusha Walia. We just know his name, Kalusha, but we do not know what he did. So we would like to set up this museum so that people know what they did, regardless of whatever. So this is one of the greatest plans that we have in mind at the moment. Otherwise, heroes recognition should be our first priority.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, tell us about some of your success stories.
Okay. Unfortunately, due to the impact of the COVID-19, some of our activities were put on standby.
Okay.
As we could only meet virtually through meetings, share ideas, and looking at it, since we are an independent organization, we haven't yet partnered with anybody.
Okay.
Mostly we've been using our private finances to actually further the activities of our organization. But through those downfalls, we've managed to actually do something. We've set up a mentorship program.
Okay.
It's mainly focused on giving advice, support, and helping out these new young athletes so that when these veterans come in, they can be able to offer their personal advices based on personal experience and failure, because without experience as an athlete or anybody, you can't go anywhere. But through our success stories, we are currently setting up a team of industry experts, young talented youths that are doing massive developments in our communities.
Okay.
Okay. In addition to that, on earlier this month in April, we also went at Bayo site to mourn our fathers, grandfathers, and our heroes, the 1993 Gabonian disaster. So that's one, it's part of our success stories, because mostly we've forgotten about that, and yet those people worked for the country. They represented the country very well. So I think it was a good moment for our organization at that particular time. Yes.
Yeah, he spoke about the hindrance of or the impact of COVID-19 on your projects. Away from that, now that we have lesser cases of COVID-19 and the country is just recovering, how do you intend to move forward?
All right. On that one, we are trying. We are still putting something on the paper. So since COVID-19 hindered us in some ways, because most of the activities were restricted, public gatherings were restricted, so we couldn't have those events. But now that COVID has minimized, this time around we are going to work. We have so much to do. We have so we are planning to come up with an activity like launching an organization. This organization has been in existence for almost a year. We had an anniversary last month. So the first thing that we are working on is to launch it.
Okay.
Yes.
In addition to that, I think the plans we have for this year, I can refer to our strategic plan. It's focused on prevention of crime, hero recognition,
good governance. Yes.
And also community support.
Yes.
Also health. If you have to look at health, it is a very powerful tool that can be used to bridge the gap of stigma and bring communities together. Going further, if we have to look deep further into health, there are new issues that are arising, one of which is mental health, which is a silent but very dangerous problem that is facing this nation. I think if I can take you back 4 days ago, we had the World Mental Health Day.
Yes.
So we're trying to inculcate our strategic plan and try and focus on that scourge that is injuring society as a whole. Because if you look at these issues, it is a challenge where somebody is faced with a mental problem. They lack the support. They lack the courage to come out and actually ask for help. So through this initiative, we are urging all industry personnel. It could be a nurse, a registered nurse in mental health. You can actually help us forward this activity. You don't have to wait and be employed for you to actually provide community support and further your community's interests.
Yeah. How's the support, especially from the community members and people that you've reached out to?
As at now, we are just putting our house in order. We haven't yet started going in the field. Yes, but now that COVID-19 has reduced, this is when we have planned to start doing that. But at the moment, we are working independently, and funds have restricted us. We have got the plan, but we are lacking funds as an NGO. So like this time around, we really need to focus on community consultation meetings, whereby we can be visiting these the so-called heroes and find out their needs, so that when we know, we'll even know where to touch and where to start from. We are planning to do this across the country, and then some are late, while others are still alive, are still with us. So especially the widows, we need to empower them with something like businesses, whatever they can be doing. If it's their children that are lacking education or whatever to do, we can still jump in and assist. We have other children of athletes that wants to take up their father's careers or their mothers, but they lack sponsorship. We need to support them with financial assistance and maybe sports attire, whatever that they need. We are there to support. If there will be anyone who would like to come on board and support this initiative, we would really appreciate.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're just working independently, and through the membership contributions, we are trying to move. There are so many things that we are lacking at the moment, because one, transport has been a limitation to our organization. We need to be moving, and yet we don't have that financial muscle. So even office renting an office, and then we're having challenges on that. So the support at the moment is not that much. We are just working as an independent party.
Yeah. Also, I want to find out how different was it way back, because when you look at the families of sports men that are deceased now, it's not even something that you would lightly talk about. But when you look at sports people now, it's like there's a whole lot of a difference. What really was lacking way back?
I think what was really lacking way back was education, because this time around in sports they have implemented education. You've seen this time around a coach can sit on the bench without qualifications, but way back they were just following their records, or maybe their CV, or he's played for this club for 10 years. No, let's give him what to do. And so that's what we were mostly lacking. And then these athletes, like I said earlier, they were lacking mentorship. They were supposed to be mentored on how to handle finances. Yeah. Mostly athletes, they get to their peak when they are teenagers, maybe between 16 and maybe let's say 25, and when they are not yet matured to handle bundles of money. So that's one thing that was they lacked way back. And then if you look at maybe investing, it was one important factor that they lacked as well. What I can say is, as a human being, as an athlete, the most important thing that you have to look at is maybe investing in so many businesses, buildings, or in assets, to say. Most of them they like exposure and exposure and luxury. You would have something small, but you want to get a car. A car that could crash or do anything, or get damaged tomorrow, but when you have an asset like an estate, it will be there forever. Your children will find them. So I think we need to ensure that as an organization that these athletes are well mentored so that they begin to have the mentality of investing. And way back, even, the first mentor that they should have is their parents. And also the coaches should be mentors. They should be teachers. They should be leading by example. So if you have parents that are maybe lacking education, you have a challenge as an athlete. So I think this one has to be looked at this time around.
So discipline obviously plays a huge role, and because we are seeing the discipline in players when it comes to sports this time around.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming through to our breakfast show today. Your Facebook handles?
So our Facebook handle is Wawa sportsAid.
Okay.
If you want to reach us on email, our email address is sportsaidwawa@gmail.com. Our mobile lines are 0964 675640, 0978 627196. And then for those that would like to donate to the cause, we have an account with Access Bank.
Okay, I think they can give you a call, reach you on Facebook, and get more details for that.
Okay.
All right, we do continue with our QTV breakfast show, and on the other side, Nelson will come through and give us our events for today.